It is 8 p.m. on February 23rd, 2024. This is CptWoozle on another Friday, writing more code, playing around with Angular again today. Probably just because I've been enjoying practicing Angular. I don't know why. I like it more than React. I like it more than Vue at the moment. But it's probably also because I started with it when kind of the component-based architecture came out. So I've just been playing around with it, just BSing. I decided it's also different than what I do in my day-to-day. I've been trying to take on more complex challenges kind of outside of work. And though I used Angular for years, it was always at the behest of someone else. So I'd like to try to build some stuff that is a bit challenging, at least to start for me, and then kind of grow from there. Though again, there's a lot of experience that I have with it, and I've done a lot of stuff, but I think it feels different when you're doing your own stuff. I think you can get a little bit more excited about it, and at the same particular point, I think you can also you can find neat things that you may not have needed to do in real life, or for a job, and it's just kind of fun. But anyway, I decided to try my hand today at a shopping list, and again, this is mainly for just fun. But I wanted to try to take some of these front-end evals and build them in Angular. This particular approach, I've built it in React already, and I've built it in JavaScript. And so I decided to do a version in Angular just as well. Now I just created my main Angular project. I decided to do it a bit early this time, so that I did not have to do it at the last minute. It took a little bit of time last time. So I'm going to take this and open up my project that I just made. I call all of these Angular and then the name of it. So this is the shopping list. So you see right here. Now I've done a couple of these projects at this point, so I'm going to play around with. I'm going to try to meet the criteria. I'm going to use Bootstrap. I'm going to use Font Awesome with this as well. Let's see how long it takes me to make. Angular Font Awesome. So it looks like it's not too terrible. It looks like there's a whole package for it. The official Angular component for Font Awesome 5 Plus. Looks like we can just do ng add. So I am using Angular 17, I think. Let's take a look. Let's go to cd Angular tab. There it is. ng-s version. I don't remember. Oh, let's do ng-s help. It's even telling me. Not paying attention. Yeah, there it is. ng no dash dash, just straight ng version. I'm on 17, so the Font Awesome version I want is 14. So let's go ahead and install it. I'm going to use that, and part of the reason why is I'm a little tired. So the idea behind the shopping list is there's an endpoint that he already has created where you pass in at least 2 characters and it pulls you back the shopping list. and when you click on one of the items, it adds the same item. It adds that item to your shopping list that you see right here. So if you were to type in MI, you could put in milk and click on it, and it would add it to your shopping list down below. Pressing the X should delete the item. The check mark should strike it through. And here's the endpoint that he created for it. So it's nothing too amazing. The key to this one is kind of to use a debounce. Angular has some nice functionality for that with RxJX. So I'm just playing around with some of that. Again, it's not particularly an amazing project or anything along those lines. It's just something to kind of play around with on a Friday night. Let's open up my notepad. Sometimes I like to put my texts here rather than try to type it all in 14x. And then let's look at the rest of the usage. With standalones, you can just, so I can use my font awesome there. And let's grab Angular and Bootstrap and go from there. I think I looked at this one last time, how to do the Angular CLI. There's an Angular CLI. You can do it this way. And then add it to the styles. So let's go ahead and install a couple things. Let's install font awesome. Yes. And then we'll install Bootstrap. I don't really feel that strongly. Press space to select. Free. Yeah, let's do all the free icons and enter to proceed. And then we'll install Bootstrap. Like I said, I've done this shopping list before. I've done it in React and I've done it in vanilla JavaScript. But I didn't see, as I said before, I haven't seen this site offer much in terms of like Angular. So I thought I'd do Angular versions of like a bunch of his stuff. I decided to try the shopping list. It's a lot easier when you already have a general idea of the approach you want to take. My general approach is going to be to have the input be one component, and then I don't really have a way to highlight here. Basically, the individual like items be another component, and then a larger component which contains each of those individual items. So that's going to be my approach. Let's go ahead and add in our styles to angular.json. Where are you at? There it is. So that's going to be my approach. The TypeScript doesn't necessarily make it easier per se, but it kind of does. And scripts here. Cool. And it looks like we can install one other thing. Let's see. Cool. Now, for those who tuned in last time, Angular came out with this, with 17, where you can do standalone components rather than necessarily having to tie everything together with NX Console IDEA plugin. I don't know how let's not. But Angular has standalone components, which makes it nice. For some of the older versions of Angular, not AngularJS, but older versions of Angular, you'd have to put all of the things, all of your components into a module file. But you don't have to do that with this particular version. You can just run it kind of by itself, which isn't bad. So let's go ahead and create our generic. I'm gonna create kind of a holder. We could put a title in there, but I'll just create a generic components folder, which will hold everything components. And I'm gonna do an interface here. Interfaces. Now, more than likely, and again, this is just playing around. Where am I? Oh yeah. So I'm going to want to do an interface that's going to be probably broken up into a couple pieces. So it'll probably be, I guess you could call it an item. We'll just call it an item. And it's going to have a name string. Delete, and I think we need to do a couple other things. Delete it. We'll do it checked as a boolean, and when it's checked, it will strike it through, and that'll be it. And then other than that, yeah, we'll just keep it pretty simple. There's not much to do. We'll call it, I guess we could do, yeah. So we could just do a TypeScript file. We'll call you item. And we will make public. And we could do either classes or interfaces. I don't know if it matters that much. I think it depends on what you want to do. So export class item, and it's going to have a name type string and checked boolean, and I don't know if I really care that much about that. Do we need a constructor for this? Or can we just use it as an interface? And so there's the question. Yeah, we can keep it as an interface. There's no need to go too deep into this. It's a very small project, so we'll do interface. By default, it's false, name is string, and we can make components over here. So let's go ahead and got a whole bunch of other stuff that I've done. There it is. I want to generate a standalone component. I really don't need one for the title. I could just put it there, but I do want to make one search component. Let's do, we'll call it search input component. Let's see if it names it, how it names it. Search, cool. So that'll be my search input component. We'll create an item component, and then we'll create an item list component. And I guess we could put we could put the whole thing inside of a container. I don't know if we really need to. But sure, why not? Oops, nope. Container. And so then we'll put the search input and the item list inside the container. And that will be where we kind of keep our parent list of items from the shopping list. The shopping list is also gonna, the search input is also gonna have this kind of hidden, unhidden kind of list here. It's just gonna be a list, a list of strings. So let's play around with this. We have our items. Here's our components. Let's go ahead and see if we can get a look that we want. So it's going to be checked. There, that is where it's going to take an input of item of type item. Let's import everything. Show context actions. It is nice to be able to import stuff. Let's do item or null and set a default to null. So that will be the item, which will tell me whether it's checked or not, and that should be it. I guess we could do the rest of the computation on the HTML layer. It's literally, I guess, will it be an LI? Yeah, sure. We'll make it an LI. And inside that LI will be a bunch of divs. We could actually make it a class of row. And then inside of it, class equals call. And then make a bunch of columns inside as placeholders. So let's do the name. That's going to be the easiest one, and the row is only going to display. Let's use an ng-if item, yeah. So if item, and we want the name, so it's going to be item.name, and we want the delete an item option. So we got to go to font awesome and take a look. So if we wanted to, yeah, we'll grab the font awesome module, imports font awesome module. All right, and it looks like we could just say FA coffee, but we want a specific one. So let's go, font awesome. We want to do the X, font awesome, find me the X. Delete, free. None of these really stick out. There it is. X marks the spot. Let's use the Twitter X Twitter. Let's use the X mark. It's FA X mark. So looking at their example, yeah, we would come over here and do U. What we want is FA. What is it called again? X mark. And it's going to be FA X mark. Cool. No, that didn't seem to work. Oh, I got to import it from here. All right, let's give it a try. So they did it that way. I'm going to do it that way. Copy X mark. There we go. And now if we want to use it, we just do this. So I want the FA. And I guess I need to do the strike through. So give me a second. FAX mark. FAX mark. Looking at this shopping list. So you would get an ng class. Yeah, we need to import it. And what I want to do is say, what do I want to say? ng class, but I want to say specifically if let's take a look. I always have to look up ng class in Angular. Well, actually, I need to create the class first. So, what's the state gonna be? Pressing the check should mark it as checked off. Item is checked is gonna be, I don't even remember what it is in CSS. CSS strike through text decoration line through. All right. So you're going to get the text decoration of line through, and the whole thing gets grayed out as well. Item is checked. Let's do a couple of things. So ng class conditionals, yeah. We need to create classes for all of them. Do we really though? Do we really? Let's look at this. So the ng class is going to be based upon equals curly brackets. And we already have the class for this. It's going to be item is checked. And it's going to be based on whether item, yeah, quote. Oh, they do single quotes. And it's going to be based on item dot checked. So that'll strike that through. But the gray color. I really want to do item is checked. Let's call it dot text, and then actually we could just, let's do this. Item I guess we could just assign it so that we could say, instead of doing the ng class here, we'll do an ng class here, and then add the class of text, so that item is check.text gets the strike through. And then by default, item is checked gets a color of gray. ng class is checked, so all the colors will all be gray. It still has the X icon, and we'll need to add a click functionality on that. Yes. Yeah, click functionality on that, so that when we click on it, yeah. Yeah, so when we click on it, we don't want to do a key down. We want to do a click. So, click on the whole div. Yeah, let's do a click on the whole div. delete item. And we don't have a delete item yet, but what we're gonna do is come over here to our input. We're gonna make an output. Ooh, I know what I forgot. So I could just have the item be an ID. I'm sorry. I could just let JavaScript create a unique ID for each one. Or I'm sorry, just use the index for the for loop. But I would much prefer to give each one an ID. And then use that to kind of find it. I don't want to use a set, and I don't want to use, well, I could use a map. I don't know if it really, I could also just put it in an object. So an object that contains objects, and then when we want to find and remove it, we could. I think it'll be potentially faster for giant lists. But we want to delete an item. We need to pull in our output. Delete item from parent. You are going to be an event emitter. Yeah. Let's do an event emitter. Regular core, and you're going to be a type of string, and you're just going to pass. That up to the parent. New event emitter string, and then delete item. We could put all the void stuff in here, but I don't know if we need to. And then we can just say this dot delete from parent dot emit, and we'll emit item dot this dot item dot ID. I'm missing a couple things. So that will delete the item, and we need the check. We could do it two ways. We could either have it so that when the checkbox is checked, we do an ngIf for each one, which I guess is fine. We can just keep it stupid, simple. Let's look for a check. Yeah, circle check, and then a non-circle check. Yeah. So fa circle check. Let's come back over here and do fa circle check is going to be equal to fa circle check. Bring you in as well. And the other one we want to use is just a plain check. So fa check. Well, fa check is equal to fa check. Same thing, import you here. And then over here, we'll use an ngIf. We'll grab you. I don't know why. Oh, because I closed you off. I wonder if it accepts it. Let's do ngIf item dot checked. ngIf item is not checked. If it's not checked, the icon that we want to use is fa circle check and check, and then our click event is going to be toggle item. Yeah, we can do this. Toggle item void, and you really don't have to do void. Like, a lot of this is implied, but you totally can. At output toggle item, and it's going to be another event emitter of type string equals new event emitter, and it's going to do the same thing. This dot toggle item dot emit and this dot item dot id. WebStorm is very helpful in this incident. Toggle item on parent is what we'll call it. This dot toggle item on parent. That's that. That's that. I think that's it. The whole thing will be grayed out. I don't think. Let's take a look. Flour, egg, so forth and so on. So I'm not going to have a spec. There we go. For the item list, you're literally just going to be a UL of ng4. We'll do that in a moment. And then we have our container item. Let's get rid of the spec. You are going to contain my items. Yeah. So shopping list is gonna be list of items. Item array starts off as empty. Import you when someone from the drop down selects an item or clicks on it, I want it to emit up to here to add item to list. Item type string, return nothing. I'll play around with a couple things. Let's take a look. I guess you're allowed to. We could use a map for each key. Maps are potentially faster, but I don't know if I care enough. Part of the reason you also want keys or unique IDs is because for this one it says adding the same items multiple times is allowed. And it doesn't say anything about increasing the count. So you want it so that when you delete apple, it doesn't delete all apples. And let's generate. Yeah, okay. There's a UUID library. We use a library called UUID. Cool. npm. Yeah, why not? Let's go ahead and install npm UUID. And then add item to list. When we add it to the list, this dot shipping list dot push. We'll do an array for now. And yeah, let's import it up here. Did I not install it? Hold on a second. npmi uuid install. Oh, I installed the types. Could not find declaration file for that. What do we want to do? Type. Oh, I don't know if it comes with it. npmi uuid TypeScript. Looks like we need this. And that solves that. That solves that. ID. Name, which is the item, and checked is by default false. You don't really have to do that, but like you can if you want to. We'll push it in. Remove item from list. The ID. We can add in some error checking. If no item, let's do that again. If no item return, keep it single line here. Void if no ID return. Yeah, let's see. What is the most efficient way of doing that? I wonder. Let's ask ChatGPT. Given an array of objects, what's the most efficient way to remove an item? Given object with a unique ID. Given array of objects with unique ID properties. What's the most efficient way to remove it? Let's see what it has to say. Cause, you know, why not? Filter, I guess, is probably the most efficient way. Yeah. So we could just do this. This dot shipping list is equal to this dot shipping list dot filter item where where item dot ID is not equal to the ID given. That will do the remove, the add, and I guess we can do the toggle item from list. Toggle item, same thing. ID string void if no ID return, and to toggle the item, I guess we could do the same thing. This dot shipping list dot bind item or item dot ID equal ID dot checked. Let's actually bring the whole thing back. Const found item, because what I want to do is this found item dot checked is equal to bang found item dot checked. It shouldn't be undefined, but let's do this. If no found item return, and then toggle the item from here. This is a weird. Okay, yeah. And then here in our, this is in the container level. Here in our item list, you're going to get the et. Now this is a perfect example of where you might use something like a store to pass information around. I'm going to just do the terrible old-fashioned method of just passing it from parent to child and parent to child. So at input item list, which is going to be a list of array of items starting off as here at output and we're just going to pass this up the container. And really, to be fair, the container could probably just do the passing and keep the list itself inside the list of items, but no. Let's do this. No, I won't do it that way. I will just continue to pass it on up to the parents. Where is this? What's going on here? There it is. At input item, at input import all the things, import delete from parent, delete from parent. So, and we really can just pass these up on along. Here's my item. Item list this dot delete from parent. And you're gonna get an ID from the delete item. And you're gonna be the same way. All right. Of type string, of type string. It's generally kind of frowned upon to use any. So ng4, excuse me. What do we want? Let item of, what did I call them? What did I call it here? It should be probably just easier to call it items of items. And we want to do, what is it? App dot item. And what we want to send in is an item. And we want to have it accept, what is it? Delete from parent event. And what's the other one? toggle item on parent event. Yep. So that's it. Not a call or an assignment. Yeah. Give me a second. Item list. Delete item. Delete item. Event. And toggle item. Event. So that'll pass that on. We have to import ng4 as a standalone component. Standalone components are just so nice. That will pass that down. That will pass that down. Then we come over here to our container. Our container div class equals container. Div class equals row. We're going to have multiple rows. That's going to be the title here. This will be the search box here. And then finally the items. And this is already set up to be its own UL, but it's not inside of a row. Let's go ahead to our item list and wrap you in a giant call. Div class equals call. Tab you over and let's do an ng if here. Ng if items dot length is greater than 0. Bring in our ng if, and you could do that a bunch of different ways. You don't have to do it there. You could do the logic somewhere else. And now when we come over here to our container, we'll just do app item list, import it, and I think I said items is equal to the shipping list. And then we need to keep the same items up here. So we'll do remove item from list is going to be, I'm losing track of all the things. I called them the same thing, didn't I? Yep. Remove from list $event and then toggle item on parent. And it's here in the container. It's toggle item. Toggle item event. I wonder if we can just do the slash these days. Yeah, I think we can. It's much nicer. App list, cool. And then app component. Oh no. Someone's alarm is going off. Not mine. So this is our list of items. So now we just have the search box to do. This is all the stuff on the main page. Main class. Main. Let's just pull in our app container. There isn't anything to really do for that. All right, so there's that. The title is going to be my shopping list. Text center. My shopping list. Put you inside of a column. Wrap you in another div. All right, now we just have to do the search box. So I'm probably just going to put the API logic here because it's really the only thing that we're concerned with. Let me double check something here real quick. When you click it. Okay. All right. So, let's take a look. How do I want to do you? I need to include my HTTP client like I did before. And do I want to do anything imported? Oh, it's grumpy about that. All right, fine. Preferred. It's HTTP client module. I see. It's not HTTP client. Let's see. People really seem to like the approach. So let's put a subject here. New subject. It's going to be of a type string. And we have our results that we're going to get back. And it's going to be a string array. I'll start off as an empty. Let's do a constructor. It's helpful, but not that helpful. We'll accept our private HTTP, which is our HTTP client. And what we'll do is we'll add a pipe and some other logic in here. So we'll say this dot search subject. We're going to pipe our results. We're going to do a debounce time of 500 milliseconds. And we're going to filter our text that comes in so that we do nothing less than 2 characters. So there are a couple things. Import filter from RxJS. So here, what we say, or what is required, is when hitting the API, be sure to debounce your input. For example, if you type for blah, 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 it basically just says you should have a 500 millisecond delay. That's why. And again, I said I've already dealt with this. And this particular endpoint only accepts items with a minimum of 2 characters. And will return an empty array. So why not? We don't want to send it until we have 2. Then we're going to switch map our text to this to fetch food. And we'll pass that on to our text. And we'll take the entire thing and then subscribe to it. We'll take all the matches that we find, and boy, it's the wrong one. We'll take all the matches that we find, and we'll say this dot results is equal to matches. For right now, let's put a debugger in here because I want to actually see what happens. What are you grumpy about? Oh, I guess I can convert you. Let's do this. Import switch map. Let's fetch the food. Let's do this. Let's say that matches is a string Let's do this. Wrap you. That takes care of that. That's good there. Let's create our fetch food. And let's just call it the query. Sure, whatever. It's pretty common. We're not actually returning anything. Well, I guess you are. So we'll say we'll return this .htp .get. You're returning a string array, and we're gonna hit up this URL. But let's use string interpolation so it becomes query here. Yeah, that's okay. Sure. Yeah, this works. And then let's do an on search change function here. Search value of a string and say this dot search subject dot next search value. Let's then make our input here. To align with the rest, we're going to make it a column. That way it aligns with the rest of what we've done. Let's look at Bootstrap. Let's look at Bootstrap forms. Forms. Yeah, let's do form group. Let's put you here. Get rid of you. No email address. No type is text. Form control. We don't need an ID. Don't need the helper placeholder. Let's do a search for food. Type in food name. We'll do that. And what we'll do is we'll say for our input, it's going to be on search change. We'll take the event, we'll take the target, and we'll take the value. Why are you grumpy about that? But it is a target.value. Yeah, okay. Right now, we won't do anything with the data just yet. Because we have to have it so that when they click on the list, it does a thing. Let's come back over to here. Search box. You now become app. Search input. We don't have it doing anything just yet. Let's see if this breaks. ng serve. It's probably going to break. I think I messed up something. I'm sure I did. Yep, I totally did. Yep, ran into this. Is possibly null. Wonder if that will go through. We already answered that. It doesn't like the value. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's see. Still doesn't like it. Value does not exist on type. How do we want to handle that? Let's close everything, give ourselves some more space. Come back over to here. Let's do this. Let's just change you to event. And let's change you over to search event, type event, and say if search event dot target dot value that's kind of messed up. If no, guess we could just return, but it's still going to be. How do we want to do that? Let's do this. Search value is going to be equal to search event dot target dot value. It's really weird that you won't let that go through. Let's see. It's still grumpy about it though. Event target. No. I don't know how I want to get that. How do I want to handle that? And you're really grumpy about this, aren't you? Let's take a look at something. Where are we? Let's not have it do anything right now. I want to put a debugger here. I want to know what is going on and why you're unhappy about stuff. Localhost 4200. And there's a shopping list. It's ridiculously huge because it is. Let's change you to be smaller. How do we want to make you smaller? Let's go and look at Bootstrap and see. Bootstrap layout, containers, fluid, grid, container. Oh, I guess we could just make you literally smaller. Column, medium 4. Let's see. Can we do that? Yeah, cool. Let us make you here a margin top of 5. Let's do a font weight bold. There we go. We have our inspect going. Type in a food name, M. There it is. Search event dot target. And it does have a value, doesn't it? Yep. Let's see. Why are you so weird about that? Let's take a look. I run into these little things all the time, and it's just silly little things. Oh, so as okay. Um, oh, I see. So it should be. What if we did HTML element event? No. You might need to directly define an event with its type target. That seems. All right, let's do that. Event. So that's a pain. And yeah, there we go. Event.target as. Yeah, let's try that. So we'll say search event.target is HTML and da 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 da. And now we could probably do that on one line rather than individually. Cool. That works. That I, and we've hit our debugger breakpoint here. So we have our matches, which is milk, chocolate milk, milkshake, mint, leaves, and miso. So let us play. Let's remove our debugger here, and let's populate a list. So underneath, let's do an li ul, and then an ng4. An ng4, there it is. Let what do we want to call it? Let food of results. Yeah. ng4. I think I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong. No, I guess I'm right. Food? Yeah. So am I? There we go. So there's our list, but when there's none, it should remove the list. So let's do the following. Debounce. Filter. Let's do the following. Let's modify the type to clear the results when the text is empty or less than 2. What do I want to do? We do want to style it. Let's do a couple other things. Let's class. Let's border you 1. Where is my border? With 1 grid Order 0, order danger, primary, secondary. Yeah, let's do border, secondary. And I wanted to adjust my pipe. All right, adjust my pipe. If so, we'll do our debounce, and we'll say here, we'll say tap, and we'll say if the text dot length is less than 2, then this dot results should be equal to this. Let's add in our tap. This is, again, just really nice. You can do all of this without having to needing to do a ton of stuff. So that'll clear out our list to use the Angular detected that the HTTP client is not configured to use fetch APIs. It's strongly recommended to enable fetch for applications that use server-side rendering for better performance and compatibility. Add with fetch to the provide at the root of the application. Yeah, I'm not really doing any server-side rendering. So you are fine. Let's make sure our thing works. MI milk. Cool. But hold on. I think that's wrong anyway. Let's double check this. Are we creating a ton of ULs? I am. See, I knew it was wrong. You don't belong here. You belong here. And MI. There we go. So let's do some styling adjustment and then have it so that it appears and disappears. We should give it a class of, we'll call you food list. And we're going to give it a class because what we wanted to do was to be in absolute position. So that div position relative, so that then you can be position absolute, which moves you up. And so let's see what that looks like. MI. Cool. And what we're going to do is have it so that, let's see, if we do, I'm just messing around, W100, and cool. All right. So W100, which is with 100, we'll do a margin top of 2. So that when we type in MI, we get this. Let's see if it's in line. Yeah. Let's add some spacing. Class equals padding on the top, which is Y of 1. So all of them have a padding. We'll add in the clicks functionality in just a moment. We need to take that away, and we only want this to display ng if results. Let's do this. Results.length is greater than 0. Because arrays are always true. So milk. Let's double check our standards. Items to be checked off, checked again, delete from the list. Entering more than 2 characters, starting with the same, clicking on an item in the list. Of partially matching items added to the list, adding the same item can be allowed, pressing the X, so forth and so on. When hitting the API endpoint, read a bounce. You should have a delay after each to make sure not to press the key again. Yeah, no. Okay. It doesn't really say what to do about like your list handling here. We could use a list item here and make you into a list group. So let's do list group item class. Nope, I said list group and list group item. I'll just type it out. So list group and class of list group item. Okay. And sure, that works. Yeah, there we go. And then we just kind of have it so that let's give them a pointer. I wonder if they have the pointer. Pointer events? No. Pointer, cursor, pointer. We'll add that to the search endpoint for all the items inside. Class, list group item, pointer. And when you click, we forgot to add no need for the breakpoint. We forgot to add the output. At output. Add item to parent. And you're going to be an emitter just like the rest. Colon event emitter. Output. No, that's wrong. It's just parentheses. Import our output. Add to parent. And then what do we want to do? So when they click, we'll create an add item to list, and it's just going to be whatever the item is. Item? Sure, string. Colon void, but it's automatically applied. This dot add to parent dot emit item. If no item turn okay. Click equals add item to list. We really could just say that. Yeah. And then let's take a look and see what that looks like and whether I did the things correctly. Chocolate milk, milkshake. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. So I'm telling it to add it to the list, and I am emitting it, but I'm not actually. Add item to parent is what we should call it, lowercase. This isn't C#. we need to have the parent capture it. So in our container HTML, we need to add item to parent, and then on the container, we need to capture add item to list. So here, 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 and event. So wait for it to refresh. Am I clicking on it? What I don't have it doing is so that when you click outside of it, it goes away. But it does add it. So there's our milk chocolate. It crosses it out, uncrosses it out, deletes from the list. We should probably change a few things. So let's margin top view 2. That gives the item list a bit of space. How can I put... I wonder, how can I put a little X inside? Let's see. Made my guy really small today. So we have the food name. Let's do this. Angular. Escape key. Let's do an escape key event. Let's see. Please let us. What do I want to do? Let's ask ChatGPT. How can I have my input clear with the escape key? I think my tarantula is doing things. I have a pet tarantula. So let's see what we can find out. Oh, mystical. Oh, so we just add functionality to handle the key. Oh, so we could just write. We could do this. It looks like we could just say handle key down, and we can clear the search with this. Did I call it search text? Oh, I see. Oh, I see. And then where? Oh, all right. So we put you here, we put you here, we put you here. So we'll put our function here to clear the search. And then we'll more than likely, yeah, we're going to attach. We'll set the key down to, did I say handle key down? Yeah. Pass an event. And then lastly, we'll set the ng model, which I guess isn't technically two-way binding. Import the forms module. And let's see what that does for us. So if I look for MI, nope, we're unhappy again. Why are you not? Placeholder. Not change at input. Next let's search value. I've broken something. MI. Oh, never mind. I guess I didn't. Milkshake, mint, mint leaves, and miso. And now if I hit escape, mint leaves. Let's clean you up a little bit. First of all, let's come back over here to our items. Let us say that you're only equal to call 1. You're equal to call 2. Add you to the list. Milk. Yep. Let's make you call 5 and do text start. That should shift things over. MI, add milk chocolate to the list. There it is. We do want you to be wider. Let's do a call 10. That should make you much wider. And there really isn't much. I'm just kind of tweaking this for the sake of tweaking it. Yeah, I'm just tweaking this for the sake of tweaking it, just to futz around with stuff. Trying to make it slightly nicer and behave a little differently, so that when you click outside of the box, let's do this. Let's see, are you Angular click outside, click on body to close. Detect click outside Angular component. I think I've seen this before. So yeah, it doesn't work when it's, there are a couple different approaches. I don't know if it's perfect. I think the better approach for this one would be to design this in a different way. So if I look for milk and click on it, well, let's see. I guess we could have it. Items can be checked off. Clicking on an item, should add it to the list. Adding the same items multiple times. I don't know. We could have it so that once you've added the item, we could add a little checkbox up here on our list, on our UL, to make it go away. We could also add one into the search input. but this actually meets the criteria. Let us do an icon that we can mess around with. Let's come over here to the item HTML. Let's grab this icon here. Come over to our search, put our icon here, which means that we'll need you as an example in our search, which we will put here. And very specifically, we want the X and font awesome. So let's grab that. I'm already using it. I'm being an idiot. There it is. FAX mark. So then when we come back over to our search component, we want FAX mark. And then, yeah, FAX mark over here in the U. Search input. What am I using this for? Where is this being used? All right. Let's come back over here. And we would want to say class position absolute, and then we're going to call you clear field. We're going to adjust your CSS over here. And then let's play around with this. First of all, let's also give it the pointer. As well. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to have you be, I guess technically, we could put you inside the input. I don't know if it'll let us do that. I don't think it does. Let's see. Oh, I know what I can also do. Inside an input. You could use the after. You could use a CSS to do it as well. Yeah. And then, yeah, there are a couple different ways in which you could do it. And then use CSS to do it. These are some old answers. Position absolute. Yep, there it is. So you could put your input and then just move it around using CSS. Yeah. Let's do that instead. Let's inspect you. There's our icon. It's already position absolute. Let's put you at right 0. 10 pixels. Top 0. Put you down 5 pixels. So that works there. Clear field. that's that, and then we'll add the on-click functionality to it. So click equals clear search. So now we'll search for a pecan nut and pecans. There we go. And our strike through still works, and our delete still works. So there we go. I guess that was about 90 minutes to make it look nicer, but we did meet the basic criteria a bit ago. Hitting the API, yeah. There's some hints. Bouncing can be accomplished with utility. If you haven't already, make sure to bounce your API requests. I have. Add a way for you to input a quantity for each item. That's not bad. To quantity for each item. That doesn't seem. Make the autocomplete list navigatable. Test and fix any accessibility issues. And drag and drop items. That doesn't sound like a bad idea. Some of these seem like neat ideas. I don't think I'm going to implement them. The drag and drop does seem neat, but more than likely I think in this day and age you just use a library for that. I feel like that's more of a challenge for vanilla JavaScript. This one doesn't seem terrible. Adding an autocomplete. And add a way for the user to input a quantity for each item. Or I guess you hit the plus. Yeah, I guess you could do a plus or a minus. So I don't know. Anyway, I think that, like I said, gets the majority of what we want done. Still looks a little off. There's the shopping list in Angular with none of the challenges done. I think I might try some of the more challenging ones down the road. My shopping list. We should probably put this as an ngIf. Search text. So it'll only appear when there's search text. Milk chocolate. Yep, there we go. Yeah. So that was a fairly painless, aside from a handful of smaller things, it was a pretty painless. I think it was less painless than the last time. What should I work on next time? I don't know. I think. Do I want to try another front-end eval? Or do shopping list didn't take but so long? I haven't done a Connect 4. Infinite scrolling tiles. That one looks to be a little bit of a pain. But I'll give it a try. I've never made a snake game. Wonder if you can do it in React. I don't know why you would want to. You would use Canvas in something like P5. An autoplay image carousel. Maybe. I think a mortgage calculator, 45 minutes. I think I will play around with the job board next, and then I'll pick another project that is more complicated, and play around with the structure of that and breaking it down in the various pieces. Yeah, I think I'll start off there next time. I do like the fact that there's a UUID library. I was doing things the hard way. So anyway, I'll put this up on my GitHub. Please feel free to tear it apart, poke at it. I'm always interested in feedback where I can improve, what I can do better. And yeah, no, I think I'll finish it there. Code scaffolding, ng build, ng test. Yeah, I'll go ahead and add this to my GitHub and kind of go from there. I think that'll finish me off for today. That didn't take very long. This one promises 120 minutes, but I think it's going to be shorter. The thing that's probably going to be the most troublesome is, because I've again done this one before, is nearly always in the format company is hiring. If you come across other formats, you can choose to ignore these edge cases or handle them. It's this part right here, these edge cases, that just kind of beat you up with this one. But I might try this one. It shouldn't be too terrible, actually. And I've done this again both in React and in vanilla JavaScript before. And then I got to figure out another approach, another project to build. I don't have anything off the top of my head. I have other personal applications, but like nothing else. I guess I could build the traditional quote-unquote store, but like, why would you want that? I guess I could try to build a progressive web app. I don't know what exactly I would build, but maybe a progressive web app. I don't know. Let me think about it. Let me poke around at some stuff. I'm always busy with work, so I never think about it past the point. But like, maybe something. I just don't know off the top of my head. Other devs seem to have a lot of stuff that they want to build, but I do. No, I just don't have a lot of stuff I want to build. Maybe I could write a book. Anyway, thank you for tuning in again. It is 9:43 p.m. on Friday, February 23rd, 2024. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is CptWoozle signing off for the evening.